DIY Personalized Champagne Glasses Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everyone! In today's video I'm going to be showing you the second of my wedding theme tutorials, and this is the champagne glasses that Terrell and I used. And so I have them where it's just a really pretty curlicue design going up the side of the glass with a couple 3D orchids. There's three, I believe, 3D orchids and some rhinestones, and then I wrote our names on them. And these are just really fun. I'll show you how I made the orchids. They're really elegant and pretty, and I don't know, everyone loved them. So I hope you guys like it too, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So to begin with, I'm going to start by doing the curlicue, the swirl filigree design that goes up the side first. And I began with the bigger swirls, kind of like the structure of this little design, because you need to kind of make sure that it's going in the direction that you want it to. So I'm using multi-surface paint for this, and that is very crucial. You need to make sure that you're using a paint that is meant to be used on glass. So this paint, you know you have the right one if when you look at the back it says that it can go in the dishwasher, because that way you know it's the right stuff. If it says it can be used on glasses and that it's dishwasher safe, you're good. So I'm using white multi-surface paint, and I've got, just like I said, I'm kind of doing the bare bones of my design. So I've got a Y-shaped curlicue that's kind of like on its side upside down, and I'm going to kind of continue that going up. So I have the design so it kind of creates like a little indent going out so that the name will fit in there, and it kind of has like a little border going around it. So once you have that bare bones done, go ahead and start filling in with more finer curlicues, as well as I added like a couple little very easy leaves in there, and then just a couple lines to fill it in. And I also added a few dots here and there, I believe, but not too many dots. I mostly try to stick with the leaves as much as I could. So then just keep adding things and filling it in and filling it out. And if you are making more than one glass like I did two. I considered momentarily doing them for the rest of the wedding party, and then I thought to myself, there's no way, that's too much. That's not gonna happen. So I just did the two of them, and I did them where they started out with that same like bare bones thing, the same, and then I did fill them out so that they were similar. But if you try to make them exact, it's not going to turn out as well, because you know, it's not perfect. You're human, so maybe there's a little bit more space here on one glass than the other, and doing the same thing, it's just not going to turn out as well. So try to keep it similar, but don't worry if it's not the same, because nobody's going to look that close. They're going to see swirls, they're going to see the names, and they're going to see the flowers. They're not going to see that there's 2 leaves on this one in this place and there's 3 on the other side. They're not gonna look at that. So just keep that in mind. It's just kind of a funny little thing. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And so just keep adding those in until you're happy with how filled out it is. Then take a little piece of masking tape, and if yours is torn to bits like mine, use the straight edge to mark off where you want the bottom of your letters to be. So in this video, I am showing you how I painted my name, because I had this crazy idea in my head that I would have a much easier time painting my own name than painting Terrell's name, which, you know, I painted my name for different things, and I sign my name all the time. I figured, you know, I have a handle on how to write out my own name. Well, I was wrong. It was so much easier to do his instead of mine for whatever reason. So you'll see how you can fix up a little mistake if you happen to make any, because I had to erase a little on my name, because I was like, what is going on here? You know what I think it is, though? You're so used to writing your name, and like when you sign your name, you don't worry about how it looks generally. I mean, there are times when you're like, I want to make it look pretty, but you don't. And like I was trying to keep it so that the fonts were the same, and I wasn't writing it in the same font that I write my name in all the time. So it was kind of a weird experience to have to write my name differently. It would have been easier to show you his instead, because I don't know. It's like you don't think you have to think about your own name, and yet you do. So anywho, when you're doing this, try to eyeball your spacing so that you're not going to run out of space, and then all of a sudden the last letter or two of whatever name it is that you're painting ends up within your filigree design. You could also do this with a date. I mean, you could have put a date instead of a name on here, or you could just forgo this whole process and just do those swirls. That would be also very pretty. Yeah, see, I'm just like, wait a second, what am I doing there? So I just, a little bit of erasing. A little square of damp paper towel does a beautiful job to erase. And then I realized my D really needs to have the curl thing going the other direction to look right. Yeah, like I said, sometimes your own name, not as easy as it looks. And so then finishing it off, like I said, space it out, kind of eyeball it. If you do have a mishap, this paint takes a little bit longer to dry than other acrylic paint, so you have some time to erase. And otherwise, some isopropyl alcohol will take it off just like the other paint, but be careful not to erase anything with that you want to keep, like your filigree. So on a nail form backing, I'm going to be now showing you how to make the 3D orchids. This is the exact same process that I used in, there's another non-nail video that uses nail techniques for the wedding that I will be uploading soon, and it uses same exact process for making the flowers, and it's the same process for making the flowers that I did on the nails, except just on a little bit larger scale. So as you can see, I'm using my big brush instead of my little brush. So first, start with 3 petals that are very classic tapered petal shape, and then add 2 next to it that have just a little bit rounder of a shape. And you can, if you watched the nail video, you saw that I used a silicone tool to kind of create that little curved dimpled shape in the petals, and here I'm just using the tip of my brush. Either way works. I just figured I'd do one video one way, one video the other way. I do think it is easier to use the silicone tool, but if you don't have them, you can always do things with your brush. So like I just tipped up the corners of the petals there. You can do that. And then make your little purple center. Try to keep it almost like a cross shape. And now I'm going to be picking up those middle 2 petals and setting them down in the center of the other flower. And then I stupidly was touching it with my hand, which I know I shouldn't be doing, but then just kind of curve them up. And I'm actually using the back of a brush kind of to help me here as much as I can, and the tip of my other acrylic brush just to kind of, work it out, and just keep kind of playing with them until they start to set. If you stop playing with them too soon, they're going to just kind of flatten back out. So you got to kind of work with them until they get that nice curved shape. And now, using some diluted paints, I started out with diluted green paint, and I'm adding a shadow down the center of the back 3 petals. And then I'm going to be highlighting the edges of the petals with a really diluted white paint. White paint on white petals, you might be thinking nothing's going to happen, but it does brighten them a little bit and make them stand out a little bit more. And then with diluted purple paint, I'm going to be adding a little shadow on the front 2 petals and just kind of bringing those out. And when I did this, I did kind of a line down the center and then a line down the edges. And it doesn't show so much on the orchids that are on the fingernails because they are smaller, but on these bigger ones, it does show up a little bit more. And then for the ones that I did on the glasses, I made a small one, a medium one, and a big one. So I first glued on the medium size, and then I'll glue on the big one and then the small one. And I just kind of lined them up along that main section of the filigree pattern. So that very main line that everything kind of branches off from. And then with some clear builder gel, I'm going to be attaching 3 rhinestones above the little flowers and 3 rhinestones below. Again, 1 medium, 1 small, and 1 big. And that is it for these glasses. This is probably the favorite element that I did for anything for the wedding. I absolutely love these. I think they turned out really, really well. So I hope you guys like them too. And please share any recreations with me of your champagne wedding glasses. I'd love to see them on Facebook or Instagram. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.